Good morning, 8J. We are going to proceed on to the next section in the book after the mid-chapter test. Later on, I think I'll do a video of going through the problems in the mid-chapter test, and if anybody hasn't got it into me by then I'll leave it as it is in your PowerSchool as you checked before. Now, what I want you to notice that this is for 32420. All right? So 8.5 is called factoring. Well, it's not called factoring fun. I call it factoring fun. But you're using the form of x squared plus bx plus c. Now, we're used to seeing this. We're used to extracting some GCF here. But what we have to think about, in this case, in both b and c are greater than 0. Stop doing that. So b is this, the coefficient of the x, and c is the constant. All right? What we're looking for here is the factors of c that would sum to b. It's right in my face. All right? So we're going to look at 15. This is c. We're looking for the factors of c. All right? So the factors are the pairs that multiply together to give you 15. And we're going to look and see, 1 and 15 will give us, 1 times 15 will give us 15. And 3 times 5 will give us 15. But check this out. The sum of 3 and 5 is 8, and that will give us that middle term, the b term. And that's what we're looking for when we're looking for two little binomials that would FOIL to this guy. So the binomials here that in the factored form would be x plus 3, x plus 5. And if you FOILed it, x times x gives you x squared. X times 5 would give you 5x, and 3 times x would give you 3x. Those being the middle terms, we would combine them because they're like terms, so 3x plus 5x is 8x. The last one is 3 times 5 gives us 15. So this is called finding the factors of c that would sum to b. So you're looking for the multiple pairs that would be the factors of the c, but when you added them together, they would give you that b term in the middle. So if you FOILed it, hopefully you're going to get this back. All right. Use the factor pair that sums to be the middle term. All right? That's what I'm telling you to do. Try this one now. R squared plus 11r plus 24. Your first step is to look at the factors of 24. 1 times 24, 2 times 6, 3 times 8. Now, which one of those is going to give us a sum of 11? 1 and 24 would give us 25. 2 and 6 would give us 8, but 3 and 8 would give us 11. So we're going to use 3 and 8. All right? So we're going to use 3 and 8. So it's r plus 3 and r plus 8. Now, so far, so good. It doesn't make any difference at this point whether you put the 3 first or the 8 first. But remember I said at this point, because at this point we are still doing plus plus. And over here, this is plus plus. So it doesn't make a difference whether the x plus 3 comes first or the x plus 5 comes first. Now, if you have a situation, which you will, where It's not both plus plus. If you had an x squared minus 11 plus 24. Now we're still going to look for the factors of 24, and we're probably going to remember, but 8 and 3 is going to give us 11. But I need a negative 11. What am I going to do to get a positive 24 and a negative 11? How will you get that positive C and a negative B? You would use a negative 3 and a negative 5. Negative times a negative gives you a positive. Negative plus a negative will give you your negative 11. So this is what it would look like. X plus 3 and X, excuse me, I didn't mean to say that. X minus 3 and X minus 5. Okay? This is a little rushed, I understand, but you have to play with the factors so that you end up with the polynomial that you want. Let's try this one. Y squared minus 6y plus 8. So we're going to look at the factors of 8. What would they be? 1 times 8. 1 times 8 would give me 8, and 1 plus 8 would give me 9, or 8 minus 1 would give me 7. Neither of those is what I want. So let me look at another factor pair. What about 2 and 4? 2 and 4, 2 times 4 will give me the 8, so I like that. And I need a positive 8 and a negative 6. If I use 2 and 4, but I used negative 2 and negative 4, negative 2 times negative 4 will give me a positive 8, and negative 2 plus negative 4 will give me a negative 6. So that's what I really want to do. I want to say y minus 2 and y minus 4. These look a little bit hard to begin with, but if you play with them a little bit, they're actually fun. Factoring is fun. And if you say that to yourself about, I don't know, 50 to 100 times, you might believe it. I believe it. So, your homework, based on these, is page 515, numbers 10 through 23. Now, that's 13 problems, and it has nothing more than what we've discussed here. If you end up with a positive, or if you end up looking for a negative positive. All right? There is one more that I will do later and that we'll use more homework to practice on. But that would be all for now. I have one more thing to say to you. Today we had a staff meeting on Zoom where we were talking about what's going on and how to make things better for both the students and the teachers. And this is a hard period of time, and you gotta do what you need to do to get through it. But one thing you need to do for my class is if you have a question, you can email me or you can post it on the classroom. And if you don't post it on the classroom or email me, but you instead take it to another classroom during a chat and talk about it endlessly, it doesn't help you and it just kind of annoys me. So let's try and be more productive and get the questions answered where they need to be asked. Thanks.